we're going to go through what I want to provide place for people who want to be creative, who want to, write a book or write a story, write a script. They might want to be an actor, even in their local community theater, or they might want to get onto television or get onto a film, or they want to write a play. This community is built with that in mind. So, as we are discovering our audience and how it is going to be benefited by this community, I want to hear from you. I want to know what it is that you think about it. I want to know what kind of things that you're struggling with. The work that I do blends with entrepreneurs, with creatives, with artists, with business owners, with actors. It's all kind of the same world. There's a lot of people that are outside the industry that think, acting is memorizing lines, or acting is something that you do whenever your ego, right? I need to be seen. I want to be seen. Some people come to the table with that, but it has been my experience that the entertainment industry is full of people who absolutely love to tell stories, that they love to be a part of building a community, being a part of creating something. And this is the most important, from the intangible to the tangible. I remember some shows that I was in or I produced in New York, or the shows that I did in Los Angeles, imagining it from the get-go, this intangible idea of what is possible, and then gradually seeing that creative process be born. This is what I just know to be true, and everybody benefits from a collective, a community. So yeah, this is literally me just introducing myself and putting information out there and exploring what is possible when we come together and we start empowering one another. So this is how I this is how I oh, this is good. And then when I get done here, I'm going to record, or I'm going to see what the recording looks like. So this is my second level course. I've taught this for years, individually, inside of groups. It's kind of the fundamental, the groundwork the blueprint that I use to create and get people to really understand what it means to be a creative, artistic person that, listens to your heart. I do this thing called the lava seat. The lava seat is when, boy, I put you in front of, the class, and I start asking you these questions. I start asking you these background questions of who you are, where you come from, what drives you, some transcendent moments in your life. What I mean by transcendent moments are those moments, you know, if I'm looking at it from a neutral perspective, it's not good, it's not bad. It is literally just those moments in your life where your life shifted and changed for the better because of something you went through. Okay. And we can call these, in scripts, we call these inciting incidents. This thing, you're on your trajectory, on a small level, I'm on my way to, the grocery store down the street, and I run into a friend of mine that I haven't seen in 15 years. I'm on my way to the grocery store. I'm headed there. The inciting incident is that a friend of mine that I haven't seen in person in 15 years stumbles into me. The trajectory of my momentum is changed. That's on a very small level. Sometimes we're in a place where we are, you know, going through life, and a very dear friend of mine, her mom passed away recently, and I grew up with this friend of mine. And, while they knew this was coming, it is still, you can't wrap your head around what it means to lose a parent. That is an inciting incident. We saw it coming, but she can't you can't imagine what it feels like to lose a parent, and in her case, lost a very dear friend, a sister. That's what we call an inciting incident. Transcendent moments are different in that they they change a part of who you are. Inciting incident is something that happens in time. Transcendent moments are things that happen in time, but they transform who you are, and that's the key that I want to bring to the table with this group. I want every experience for everyone in this group to experience something transformative. I want you to experience this idea of taking something you've had in your mind's eye, something intangible that you can see, that you can feel, that you grab hold of, and you begin to have the courage to turn that into something tangible. It is a home, it is a book, it is all of the things that we kind of don't start. So that's what this is. And I'm going to let it be born based on your opinions and your ideas and how you want to go into the future with me as and other leaders as your guides. Okay. So I always start off with like the four agreements because I think the four agreements are excellent resources to remind you of what it means to be a solid human being. So we'll start off with four agreements. One, and if y'all don't know, this is by Don Miguel Ruiz, who was a fantastic philosopher and writer, and he wrote this book, The Four Agreements by Miguel Ruiz. These are the four agreements: be impeccable with your word. What you say affects others. So what you commit to. I was thinking about this today when I was getting ready for doing this for the first time on School. Of course, I've done it on Twitch and, and a lot of different places. But doing this inside of School it's new. It's a different technology, but it's very user friendly. So my goal was have it start at 4 o'clock, but I was having technical difficulties, some of which I've been able to figure out. The other is that my other monitor isn't working, so I'm using from the same monitor. I could have let that get in the way of me doing it, today at all. But it's not being impeccable with my word. So being impeccable with my word, I did renegotiate. I put down in chat and I said, "Hey, I'm going to I'm going to go on at 4:30. I'm going to change the time to 4:30." And then and so that's what happened. Now, this is like I said, this is a soft launch. I'm playing around with technology, and there's going to be once I get this locked and loaded, we're going to go in full force into transforming lives every single day in one way or another. As you might know, I have let's go here. I'm going to go through the words or the four agreements, and then we're going to kind of go over to um, my board, my dashboard on School, and I'm going to show you what we got in store for you so far. Words matter. What you say affects others. Words are actions. So if you've ever taken an acting class, or if you're a public speaker, you've probably been introduced to the idea of how powerful words are. Words have intention behind them. So it's not as much as the actual word, although those can do harm, or those can inspire, and those can empower. It's not necessarily the word, it's the intention behind it. And that's where we get to be really encouraged. Okay. So, with that in mind, we want to have an awareness around our words. If I commit to something, then I'm going to do everything to be there. I will be there. If somebody says, "Hey, Friday night 2 weeks ago, come to my party." And I'm like, "I don't know if I can be there." I'm not going to say, "Yeah, I'll be there." I'm going to say, "Let me see what my schedule looks like. I'll get back to you." Or if I know I'm not going to go, I'm going to tell them I'm otherwise committed elsewhere. You just want to be impeccable with your word, your commitments. The words you put out, lay claim to negativity or positivity. That again, that's the intention behind the words that we use. Intention is everything. We're going to go into that. I'm going to do an entire conversation about intention because intention, as a speaker, as an actor, as a writer, intention is everything. Behavior is everything. Behavior, I should say, behavior is informed by intention. Actions, words are actions informed by intention unconsciously, if not just consciously. The word is an action and is force. Humans are magicians. We can use our words to say everything and put it into motion. I'm taking a thought. We'll do a conversation on the cycle of communication, which is important. I'm going to think a thought, and my action is inspired by how I feel about that thought. Okay. That's the cycle of communication in a nutshell. And then the number two, don't take anything personally. But take anything personally. And guys, by the way, I use this as the initial conversation when I'm working with people in a class. When I'm working with actors or creatives or entrepreneurs, I lead with this because it sets up the tone for everything. I can fall back on this and show you where any kind of breakdown or breakthrough is because you either didn't follow these or you did and then you had the breakthrough, the accomplishment. Okay. When what is it that you apply when when you're committed to your word? What you apply is you begin to trust yourself. You begin to trust, and other people begin to trust you. You're accountable. Most of the roles I ever got were because other people knew me, not necessarily because I knew them, but because my reputation preceded me. And then, all right, so don't take anything personally. This was one of the biggest lessons I ever learned in my high school. My high school theater teacher, I will give a very brief story. My high school theater teacher, at the beginning of the year, I went to her and I said, I want to work really hard. I really want to be a committed force. I want to learn. I want to grow. I really want to do this. I was so passionate about it in high school theater. And there was one night during notes, we were getting notes after our production, and my high school theater teacher gave me a really quick note. Breon, you missed that line. Yeah, work on it. Like that's how she gave me the note. It was very brushed off. It was very thrown away as if discarded, I felt. I was a very emotional child, very emotional. I wore my emotions on my sleeve. You always knew what I was feeling at all times. And I laid into her right there in front of everybody. I was like, said her name. You really know. I said her first name too. You really know how to make a person feel like. And that, I used the word. She pulled me aside. She took me into the wings and she put her arm on over my shoulder and she said, Bree, and that was my name at the time. She said, Bree, I really want you to hear this. The first thing that you need to do, the first thing that I really want you to get is that you should never, ever, ever take things personally. So, with that in mind, I learned a very big lesson that day, which I'm grateful for. Let me know if you have what was the first thing that you learned that kind of changed how you experienced, how you took in information. Now, I trusted my teacher. I had trust with her. We were as friends as you could be from a high school perspective and a teacher perspective. I respected her. I loved her. I loved the work that she would put out there. And I really thought that it was, I really thought that I was really clear with our relationship. If I had not trusted her, I probably wouldn't have been able to express myself as emotionally, and I probably wouldn't have heard what she was saying when she said, "Don't the biggest lesson you can ever learn is to don't take things personally." And because of my emotional, you know, discovering my emotional place, discovering where everything fit, what everything was on an emotional landscape, I do remember being able to not only understand it in my body, but also understand it on a maturity level, intellectual level. And I tell you what, that helped me so much going into professional theater and professional work, film, television, New York. And I will say a lot of the things that we're going to be learning here, I feel like has been escaped, has been discarded in the world of entertainment for a while. If you watch anybody like Viola Davis, amazing speakers that you might want to emulate and siphon from, every single one of them will tell you that the foundation of your art form is in a live place. It is in doing theater. It is in doing something on stages where people are connected because you are directly responsible for your actions. You're directly responsible for the relationships. You can't just turn off your computer and walk away. You actually have to deal with the ramifications of your actions. And I think that that's what's so important. So as we build this, and I'm super excited about building this because I want to do, right now I live in Chicago, but I frequently return to LA. We do have conversations about moving to someplace later, but I want to build in-person communities that is that is spawned from this community here on School. So lots to look forward to. Lots to look forward to. All right. So don't assume. I met Uma Thurman once, and it reminded me of this. She walked in, she was just so beautiful. She just glazed. It's like she floated. It seemed like she floated. I was at a party, an event in Hollywood at some point. She was one of the special guests. It was right around it wasn't at the 2016 Oscars, which I got to go to, but it was at another Oscar party like in 2017, 2018. And she was doing one of the speeches, and she just and anyway, the reason why I'm mentioning that is because you don't want to make assumptions. You make and by the way, this is mine. Don't assume you make an ass out of you and Uma Thurman. I said that way. I don't know. Somebody else said it. Somebody a lot more famous said it at one point. And I was like, wait, that's mine. Anyway, I'll let them have it just this once. Always do your best. Today might look different than yesterday. Your best today might look different than it did yesterday. It might be like better, don't compare. It's just like this is my best. My best today might be on the couch, right? My best today might be leading a feature film today. You know what I mean? So, that we get into this kind of cycle of shame around comparing ourselves comparing ourselves to other people, comparing ourselves to who we were yesterday as opposed to um, just allowing ourselves to be the best. And today, what I am doing, I've got a smudge on my glasses. If today what I'm doing and who I'm being is the best I can be today, and that means making soup and sitting on the couch and being lazy, then that's the best. And you get to have that. And no shame, no guilt. If the best you're doing tomorrow is volunteering, is some activism, etc., then that's the best you can do. And that's pretty damn good. All right. So let's go back to this. I'm kind of loving this. You guys let me know what you think. This is going to be up on the channel. I don't know. I don't know where. I don't know how. I don't know who. I don't know where. I don't know how. Name that movie. Name that movie. All right. I say who, I say how, I say where, I say who. I'm paraphrasing, but all right. So yeah, so like those are the four agreements. Those don't assume. Like when you assume, you make an ass out of you and Uma Thurman. Basically, it's a lack of clarity. This is what we do. Everyone is I begin telling stories in my head about what somebody else is thinking or doing or whatever. Like with if I'm waiting to hear a phone call from somebody. Well, I emailed them a week and a half ago, or I texted them a week and a half ago, and I have a good relationship with that person. Don't assume that they saw it. Don't assume that they got it. Just reply. People, especially like I will speak for myself, and I will speak for a large majority of people in the entertainment industry and inside of businesses. And I was having a conversation with a business owner a few weeks ago, and she was saying, like, you know, I've emailed them. I've emailed them twice. I said, well, did you call them? No, I just told them I was emailing them. Call them. You have the relationship. They gave you their phone number. We tell this story in our head and it begins to circle around. Well, I don't want to interrupt them. I don't want to abuse their time. Well, then don't abuse their time. Call them. People are busy. People are busy. All right. And then, I mean, you don't want to hound them. We're going to go into a lot of these in detail as we move forward and make all of you guys powerhouses. Be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. Don't assume. Always do your best. All right. So, this is just one of the courses that I teach. I teach this in a group setting. I teach this individuals. I'll take one person through the course. So I take people through this experience, and by the end of this, you've got a fully fleshed out project. So I call it the project. Where is it? By the end of this course, and I'm going to see how I can apply it to this community. Maybe I'll start this week, going through this and fine tuning it as I go, because I usually update it once a year, twice a year, to reflect kind of what's happening in the industry itself. So toward the end, like the I think this is a 6 to 12 week course. It's either really condensed or it is or we go through it through 12 weeks. This is this is what you can look forward to in this community as I build it into school. We call it the Being Seen Project. Now, the benefit of this is, for a lot of people, they have this idea of something that they want to accomplish. They want to create a script, they want to write something, they want to create a character, etc. This kind of accountability that we're going to cover in this community is literally you having the result and the outcome of the thing that you want to have, which is informed here being seen project. With the onset of social media, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, it's never been easier to create content and get your voice heard. Whatever that looks like for you, it can be in any of these mediums. It can be a book. I had one student that created this amazing character back and forth and started doing a TikTok channel later. And this was the interesting thing later, like he loved doing it later. He decided that he didn't want to do that anymore, but doing that project led him to doing something else really extraordinary. It led him to, and that's the thing we all also get often in the way of who we are, of what we want to accomplish, is we have this expectation. I'm going to dive in that too. No expectations. We have this idea of what we are and who we are, uh, in a way that we. Oh, hold on. Interesting. Okay. In that okay. I think there were just 2 of me up there because I was using the other platform. So, it gets in the way of who we are, meaning we have this expectation that it has to be this. It has to turn out to be like this. It has to be if I need to write a script. I need to write a play. That's my goal, that's my ambition. And along the way of writing that play, you are, working with other actors and there's like another actor that comes on and they say, "Hey, you'd be great for this role. Why don't you come in and play this role?" And you kind of put the script that you're writing on the side to go and do that. That is the thing that you would not have done that had you not started writing that script. You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying. Okay. All right. You guys let me know what you think in the chat. I am or in the comments. I did open up the community to the 7-day free trial just as I soft launched this. I want everybody to get an idea of what it's like and to join. My commitment and share this. If you guys can share this, that would be great. My goal is to have 50 in the community by within the next 2 weeks. 50 people that are committed and paid. And the reason why I don't have this community as free is because I believe that when you are paying and you're a paying subscriber, then you've got money in the game. Then you show up. Now, I did lower it from 95 to 27 because I'm looking at the details in school and how we can, one thing that I do might not be something that you want to do. One program that I'm offering might not be the program that works for you. So the 3 different programs that I will be offering, which is actually let's go into that a little bit as I build. Okay. And this is all this is kind of the blueprint. This is kind of the initial phase of this experience. My goal is to make it as transformative, inspiring, empowering, exciting as possible. And believe me, look, if $27 is it's challenging for you, and then you can benefit the community in another way. If you can support me and the tech and run the tech, if you can, if you want to come on board in another way to earn that, then I'm great for that. When I was teaching in Los Angeles and New York, I would have assistants that would come in and they would help and they would get free mentorship, free classes, etc. So if that sounds something good to you, but I do have it at the $27 rate because I feel like that's manageable, especially for everything that we get. So let's go through what we're going to be getting in the community. And I definitely want your advice. I want your contributions. I want what it is that we can build together and what we can create together. Because I think I look out there and I see what people might need. You know what I mean? And I anticipate the building of this course based on what I see in the world as something that's needed. But I might not be accurate in that. Okay. Let's go here. Let's look at it from a member point of view. Okay. So right here, you're going to be getting introduction to character development. Now this is kind of just free. And if you're a speaker, a director, whatever creative industry you're in, this PDF will help you. Don't get it in your head that just because I'm focusing on actors here doesn't mean it's not going to help you in your business. That is my goal, is to merge the worlds so that a person can explore the benefits of being an actor and the process of being a creative person in storytelling and apply that to their personal speaking, apply that to their businesses, apply that to if you're a teacher in school, everything that we go through in here is going to be applicable. My focus, my number one focus is inspiring creative people to build and empower themselves and be in a community of people that is safe and hears and you can run things by each other. So you can download this. It should be in here for free. So any member is going to be able to download this. Create character in a solid process. The solid, again, this is primarily for actors. And you know what I might do? I might just go and create one that's specifically for speakers. I'm basically going to carbon copy this, but it's just a little bit more digestible for public speakers. This is a little bit about who I am. I know that looks scary, but that was a play I did called Bent. This was a movie I did called Embrace the Serpent. This is a PDF file of my level 1 acting fundamentals, character development, character building, creative exploration, and that's free. That's free for everybody. I encourage everybody to look through that, use it as a goal, like a place to go back to as we move through and we build in this community. Important. And this is what you'll have to look forward to, and I'll figure out how to go back and explain those other courses. Actually, do with it, Brion. Okay. So in this community, you're going to get, and this is the onset. This is based on not only my experience as a teacher, as a professional, as a public speaker. This is what I am observing in the world. I'm observing in the world what I feel like is missing and how I can step up and be a contributing factor. There's a lot of crazy stuff that is happening in the world. And I, you know, I think this is how I can be a part of the shift. There's a lot of destruction happening. While we're in that destruction place, let's go and be in a creative space, right? So I can't do anything about necessarily that destruction. I'll know when to step up when I'm ready, or no, when I see it being when I'm being called. I think if you resist something, it will persist. That is why a lot of this is just ongoing, constant stuff, is because forever we've just been in resistance mode. There's one party in resistance to the other. And I would say in this case, and this is historically true, that the Democratic Party has just been in resistance to what and not really being proactively creating something, which is sad because they know what they get to create. And I think the other party is in destruction mode. And I don't care. I don't care. Look, if you're not in tune with this, if you're not in tune with what is happening on our planet right now, then that is one thing we bring to the table here, is to be informed. You must be informed. Part of what's happening in the world will be recorded and later reenacted, reinterpreted. So it is up to us to be observers and interpreters of the human experience. That is what we do as creatives. We are observers and interpreters of the human experience. Okay. It's very important. And very important. Curiosity and approach everything. This is important too. Curiosity, discovery, and possibility. If I could just put that, I'm going to make a new t-shirt. I'm going to make a new t-shirt. It's going to be in my fourth wall. Curiosity, discovery, possibility. If we are in that mode at all times, then we don't get defensive. We don't take things personally. We are engaged. We're engaged with the other person. We make it about the other person, about the other issue. right? If we are in curiosity, discovery, and possibility at all times, there's a weight lifted up off of us, right? Okay. And then it's this movement forward, movement forward. This isn't just a space, it's a practice. Now, what we're going to be building together here is these transformative moments, these consistently transcendent moments in our lives. And we're going to be moving together through all of these big wins that we're going to have in this community. I'm just getting excited just like talking about it. So what you get weekly free Q&A sessions with me. I'm going to be doing these at least once a week. I think I'm going to be having so much fun with them that I'm going to be doing them even more. Weekly free Q&A sessions, real-time support, coaching and insights to move you forward every single week, at least once a week. That's going to be guaranteed, guaranteed. The cold read class. Now, I did this cold read class for about 3 or 4 years in Los Angeles. I had done one before. I used as an actor, I used to think cold read class was, something that was just it just didn't serve the purpose that I feel like it wanted to. But when I was asked to come in to teach a cold read class to a studio in Los Angeles, a very dear friend of mine. Um, so membership right now is you can get the free trial. It's $27 a month, a 7-day free trial, which I think is great. Gives you an idea of what I'm creating this week. This week is a soft launch, and then we'll do a big launch probably next weekend. Um, what you get in this community is a cold read class. You can sharpen your communication skills, think on your feet, and build confidence in any room. I recommend this cold read class for anyone. And like I was saying, when I first started, when I was, or when I was teaching, I never wanted to teach a cold read class. I never really even took a cold read class when I did take some, but then very quickly was like, I don't want to do this. But being the imagined person that I am, I created something through a cold read class that is far beyond the text. What we do in that class is break down, I take leadership principles, I take experiences of how you're showing up and how you're exploring and how you're like we take those experiences and I apply those to the cold read. Builds confidence, elevates imagination. I can create and hold a magic mirror up to you and remind you of how powerful you are in this class. And so it's really exciting. There's nothing to prepare. Right now, I have it offered at 675, which is a freaking steal. We're going to be doing those pretty much once a week, minimum of 10 for 10 months. 675 for the 10 artists. Where is it? For the first 10 artists to get in at 675. I would teach this class to inside the class, it was anywhere between 15 and 30, but the first 12 people would be able to read. So if you signed up, some people just came in to watch it or came online to watch it and observe because you gain a lot from observing. And like I said, this is for teachers. This is for actors. This is for writers. You see how dialogue is constructed. This one is going to be what I'm really excited. This is specifically for young men, and this one is specifically geared toward young men who are trying to find a place. They don't feel like they belong in certain places, or they're trying to find their way and navigate their way. There's a lot of people out there in the influencer arena that are leading young men astray, in my opinion. So you can check this out. And I will also have, and that I will have, and it is specifically for men. So that's not, it's just another thing that I'm going to do. Like I said, when I had the initial $95 for the $97 to be a part of the community. I lowered that because I knew that I was going to have a couple of different various things for different people. So I didn't want, you to specifically have to pay for all of that. This is not part of necessarily the school component. The empowered man is actually going to be, although you can subscribe through here, it's going to be a kind of a separate entity than what I'm doing here. But you can purchase and pay for it here. But what everything that you're getting with this community, everything that you're getting right now, just so you know, right now, this is what's up with the calendar. Right now, we are, and I'm going to be adding to this week, Monday nights, and we start this on. I have starting Monday night. I'm probably not going to start it this Monday night, but I'm gonna have it start on the 30th, which is the day after the hard launch of my school program. So, and then so Monday nights is that. Tuesday is going to be it's going to be a Q&A every Tuesday at 11 a.m. This is Central Time, Chicago time. I'm going to be doing a Q&A, so you guys can pop into that. It's going to be a live Q&A on here. And then please come to that. Please come to that because that way I know what you guys are looking for. I can only come up with something based on what I see and what I observe and my experience, but maybe there's something out there that I can offer that I'm not aware of right now. And then on Wednesdays, I love this one. So this is going to be workflow. This is a 2-hour session. Nobody's talking. I might play some music. We might stream on Twitch like a DJ and do a work and lurk session. We might do that. My partner, my husband is a DJ and sometimes he does work and lurk. So we'll just check that out. So 11 a.m. This is the Q&A. It's for all you guys to come. It is 100% free. I do record it and you're going to have that available for you. It's a way that I can get an understanding of the community. Every Sunday, I'm thinking Sundays, I'm going to be doing the lives. That kind of gets us set up for the week. We're in full on work mode. So, look, this is my intention. Like I said, transformative, exciting, and the answer to the petrification, the stagnance, the what do I do? It is the movement in a direction that is creating positivity and being source for something really, really, really powerful in the world. And that's what I'm excited about. So join this community. Please tell your friends. Everybody gets a 7-day trial period. It's only $27. The amount of what you're going to benefit and how you're going to benefit from this community is exceptional. One last pitch, because this is very important. I say everything's very important. I know. I'm just going to remind you that this cold read class right now for the first 10 people that sign up for this at $675 for the year. It is for the year. So I think it's going to be it's every week, but you get for 10 weeks or for 10 months, 10 months. And if it's just those 10 people that are there every week for 10 months, then I'm just going to do it. After the first 10 people get in, I'm raising it up to its normal 1875 or 1895, however much it is in my website. I can do it at the 1895, which is a steal in and of itself because you're basically getting the acting class a week for a lot. The doing it for 675 to launch my school, I want everything to be contained in here. And this 675 for this cold read class for the year Did I say that already? You can't beat that. So this is the Q&A, and then this is gonna be the live. Um, we're gonna be doing that every Sunday. Workflow, this is badass. It's an inspiring sourcing community. You guys check that out. If you have questions, email me. Please share this with your friends. You can't beat this price. I love SKOOL. I love how it's set up, and I'm gonna have this as a recording. Everything will be recorded, so you can kind of play back whatever we miss on these lives for a certain amount of time. Because, all right, so that's that. I hope you guys have an amazing day. We were just at 1 hour. I will be on tomorrow night at 7. I will be doing the same time frame as the Q&A, but since I've just now launched it, we're going to be building that community. Let your friends know, bring them along, and I'm looking forward to creating with you guys. Okay. Cheers. We will talk soon. Adios.